is like a rifle. Its usefulness depends upon the character of its voter. A very fanatic morning to all of you present here. Today I welcome you to the biggest democracy in the entire world. This is the land where in the war of Kalinga, seeing the devaluation, Samrat Ashok chose peace and serenity over violence. This is the land where in 2013, Santosh Kohli, a young woman, would give her life for PDS and so that the proletariat in this nation do not sleep foodless. It's quite obscure that in a nation like India, which has democracy intrinsic to its system, do we really understand what it really means? We sure know how to vote. The voter turnout in this nation is more than some of the population of some of the biggest nations in the entire world. But really, the problem in India is not how to vote, but why to vote. And I take the Commonwealth scam as a very concrete example that proves that India does not vote on issues. 2009 CWG scam. A Raja is the main accused person. Comes out of jail in 2014, again contests election. And what we are completely oblivious towards is that a man accused of the biggest corruption scam in this nation wins 40% more votes after going to jail in 2014 in comparison to the elections he got in 2009. Then the case of Lalu Prasad Yadav, he is in jail, his wife contests election, she again wins, even with a larger voter percentage. And there are problems like regionalism, casteism, Dravidian versus Aryan, Hindi versus Telugu, and you can call it a colonial hangover. But really the thing is that we as Indians love to discriminate against our own people. We talk about women empowerment. How many of us voted for reservation of women in parliament this election? We talk about environment. How many of us voted for sustainable development, green economy, banning the plastic, river pollution in these elections? We talk about economic development. How many of us voted for sustainable development, inclusive growth, equitable distribution of income, amalgamation of public sector units, and corporate tax reduction? In this election, we have reduced democracy to just a one-day festival where we go out to the election booths and click a selfie of our vote and upload it to social media. Adolf Hitler once said that destroy the life of people so much that even breathing oxygen seems like development. Today, democracies is doing that to you. Years ago, a certain section of society didn't have the right to drink water from the same well. Years ago, millions of young boys and girls died in World War I and World War II. Why? Because they didn't have the right to vote, to choose that whether they want to be in the World War I or II. But today, when we have the privilege to vote in an election and propose our strong protest, why we sell our votes for 100 rupees notes, guaranteeing that for the next 5 years, the same politician is going to humiliate, debilitate, and act as a caustic sycophant to us. The value of one vote in a democracy is very important. Every single vote in every single corner, in every single state of this nation matters. In 1776, it was one vote that gave US the English language instead of German. It was one vote in 1923 that made Adolf Hitler the leader of the Nazi party. It was one vote during the French Revolution that gave France a republic instead of a monarchy. Gandhiji used to say, be the change you want to be. But today the reality is, cast the change you want to be. We have different problems. But really what the conclusive point should be that there could be different conditions throughout our country, but there are some issues that we need to put into consideration while we go out today to vote. These are issues that affect everybody, no matter where you live in this nation. These are education, employment, drainage, infrastructure, agriculture crisis, poverty elevation, banking sector. The NPAs this year have left really down. And when this happens, gentlemen, I guarantee you will establish a true democracy. It is said that these institutions are not possible if we don't do electoral reforms. That is why today it's the duty of the Election Commission to include the fundings of political parties as well as individuals candidates into their jurisdiction. The model of the code of conduct needs to be proactive rather than reactive. We need to have a system that includes one nation, one election so that the excessive expenditure on elections can be reduced. And gentlemen, when that happens, I guarantee you, will lead to formation of a better world that leads to protection for all, enlightenment for women, and prosperity for men. Thank you very much. And I would like to find by a very single point. A ballot is more powerful than a bullet. So use it carefully. Jai Hind.